What's up, guys? It's your girl, Dedicated Diva, and I'm back with another work at home chat. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more podcasts like this. Now, I know you guys see the title, and so let's get straight into it. I've had people email me and say things like, well, you're telling us about the work at home job, but you didn't tell me that I need to have this, this, and this. Or they think that every work at home job, the job will send you something. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole employee and independent contractor thing, but I will say this. When it comes to a work at home company sending you out equipment, it's a 50-50 chance that you may get, equipment or something sent to you, and it's a 50-50 chance that you just may not. I would say at least 90% of the work at home companies that I've ever worked for, I've had to use my own equipment. That remaining that remaining 10%, I've got sent equipment. Now I would say one of those positions I can remember I got sent everything. The only thing I had to have is, the stable internet connection. They sent me everything and more just in case. I've had positions where they send me some things and I had to have other things. I've had some positions where they will send me something and I will have to purchase something. I would have to go out and buy like a headset. I believe that's why I have so many. But I would have to go out and purchase the equipment that's needed. Now, I have a lot of people saying, why would I go out and purchase something if it's a seasonal position or if it's only for a job? Well, you must don't want the job if you're not willing to get the equipment. Now, I can understand if you can't get it because I have been in, situations where I just couldn't afford it. And so I had to let the position go. And trust me, guys, if it's ever where you have to let a position go, where you just can't do it, where you don't have the equipment, you just have to let that position go, and you have to tell them, like, I can't afford to get this piece of equipment. Trust me, you're just another name. You're just another employee or independent contractor. They'll understand. They'll put that down on file. So when you reapply, they know that's what it was. And 9 times out of 10, if you're hired over again and you do get that equipment that you should, that you needed at that time, then they'll ask you and make sure you have everything, and that's it. Now, I'm going to go over a few things that just came to my mind when I thought about the things that you need to work from home. One of those things is a stable internet connection. Now, it's some people, and like I was at first a couple years ago, I had my internet connection was trash. We couldn't hardly do anything. I don't care how many people was online. I don't care if it was just me waking up at a certain time of the day. It was trash. I had AT&T then. Now I have Xfinity. I've had Xfinity for maybe 2 or 3 years, and it is the best thing that I've ever had. The best internet connection that I've ever had. Every internet connection has its kinks, but it's the best internet connection that I've ever had. Now, if you ever wanted to check your speed, and I know some jobs say like you need like 5 megabytes per second for upload, and same thing for the download. To check that out to see how fast your internet is, you can go to speedtest.net. If you go to speedtest.net, that's the way basically you can check your internet connection. Now, each job is going to be totally different when it comes to how fast that your internet needs to be. But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be that high, but your internet connection also can't be trash. Um, you also have to have either, or it would be good to have a laptop, PC, or a Mac. You need to have a computer on your own. You don't want to be out here applying to work for all these jobs and you don't have the basic equipment that's needed. you have to have the ability to connect to your modem, basically with the Ethernet cord. An Ethernet cord, you can connect into your PC or your Mac into the modem, and that basically you're hardwired. Most jobs are going to tell you that you need to be hardwired. You cannot use Wi-Fi. So that's just a heads up. Next up is a headset. Now, I have a lot of different headsets only because I've worked from home forever. Now, I have a USB headset from, I would say, 2007. I still have that one. I have one from 2003, and that one still works. I believe it's a Microsoft Live Chat. It still works great. Um, I have a lot of USB headsets, and it's also a good idea to get one. I believe the connection on the end of the headset is a 3.5. That's basically where you can like plug it into your laptop or your tablet or your phone, that type of connection. Now, with talking about headsets, you need to also make sure that you have a phone, or it would be good to have a phone that you can connect that 3.5 connection. I'm not sure what you call it exactly, guys, but you need to make sure you have a phone where you can connect the headset. I've ran into many different positions where I needed that, and I always have to skip over it because I just don't have that type of phone. And every time I get ready to go buy one, I just can't because I don't like house phones for one thing, and I always use my cell phone. But it's good to have a home phone where you can connect a headset. Now, when you're working from home or thinking about working from home, you also need to have basic knowledge of a computer, how to search the internet, how to check emails, and how to download files. I have went through so many different training sessions, and people don't know the basics of a computer. And I can understand people trying to get a job. I can totally understand it, and it's not hard for a lot of people to catch on. But if you're one of those people where you don't know the basic knowledge of a computer, searching the internet, checking your email, downloading files, you don't know how to download an app to your smartphone, you may want to kind of dig into that and let some people kind of help you out. Now, we are all adults, and of course, people are going to be there to help you out. But it only slows down the process of training other individuals when you are in that type of environment. And if you don't know the basic things, there is, you know, you don't know the basics things that you need to know. I'm trying not to sound offensive, but if you don't know how to do the basics, get a little bit of help. You can go on YouTube. You can just type in whatever you're looking for, and 9 times out of 10, it's a video for it. Also, you need to know how to look for a saved file. You need to know how to save things, and you need to know how to look for them. I've been in many different situations where no matter how hard and how many people try to show, you know, individuals how to look for something, it don't work. And they end up getting frustrated, and the whole class is slowed down, and the whole training is threw off. Now, this is just a side note. I think my last work at home chat or the chat before that one was talking about something with, going through training. Or if I haven't made that one, yeah, I did. That was my last video when going through training. If it's a situation where you don't know the basics, you're slowing down class, which makes it after that point past where someone has finally taught you how to do whatever it is that you didn't know how to do and everybody else is just sitting around waiting, what's going to end up happening is that slowed down training at that point when you needed all the help or whoever it was needed all the help. And after that, training is going to be sped up almost like times 10. And now it's got to a point to where the trainer is throwing out so much information and throwing it out so fast because they was caught up at that one moment. You need to know how to do the basic things on a computer before you even start working from home. I can see if you're going to be working for yourself, you got your own business, you got that little curve that you can get around. But if you're going to apply to work for anyone, you need to know those basic skills. You also need to have a quiet work area. You cannot have this loud where either your neighbors are loud, a TV is going in the other room, and you can hear that TV. It's fine to have family around, but it's not fine for your employer to be able to hear them. You should have no background noise. In other words, I know I ran into a couple of trainers that would say, well, you can't have any family in your house and you can't have any of this and you can't have a cat, you can't have a dog. You can have those things as long as it's so far away from you that you can't hear it. If someone was to say something, you can't hear it. It's also a good idea to have a smartphone because if you have a smartphone and they may ask you, I know it's a lot of work at home jobs now that say you have to download something to your phone, or you may have to access some type of app before you log on to their system. And so it will be great to have a smartphone. And lastly, you have to have the patience when you're working from home. You have to know that there's no one to walk over to your desk if you need help. You don't have a manager to look over your shoulder. You don't have a team member to say, hey, I forgot how to do this. Can you help me do this? It's not that type of situation. So you have to have the patience and the dedication to know that you can get the job done. These are the things that I felt like were the major things, whether it was equipment or just, basic knowledge of things that I felt like that you need to have. One of the biggest things, or my top three things, would be a stable internet connection, basic knowledge of anything dealing with your computer, and a quiet place to work. I'll be back next week with another work at home chat, guys. And don't forget, you can always comment down below if you feel like I need to talk about something. Just let me know.